What's up, everyone? Welcome to this week's FXK forecast breakdown, guys. I hope you guys are having a great week so far. And by the way, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. So right now, what I'm looking at is gold for a further move to the downside. So overall, if we break these lows here, so these lows must be broken in order for us to see further downside on this pair. But overall, if we do break these lows, then I'll be looking for the bears to shift back in the price and to see overall anywhere between that 250 to 260 region be achieved to form a new lower low. So if we look here on the higher time frame, on the 4-hour time frame, you guys can see kind of from that top. Once we started to shift back into the bears, we had that head and shoulders there. All right, nice clean break. And then we dropped here. Here. And then we retested back into that region. So throughout this region, we're making lower highs, lower lows. And so we're kind of back at that neckline region right now. We're also at 1,300, which is a nice level to look for potential sellers in the market. Now, if this is going to go long-term to the downside, again, I want to see price break and close below this level, preferably on a 4-hour time frame. Other than that, we might see a potential bounce on gold at the 38.2. We did get a shift as far as on the bullish side on the 4-hour for our golden cross, our moving averages there. So I'm just kind of staying aware for potential bulls might come back into the market, and we might see price actually achieve this high. Around 1310. So right now I'm looking for further shift to the downside. We might have a TL also that's playing for us here. Let's see. Oh, no, so it looks like we already broke that. So overall, as far as if we're going to continue down, I want to see price either drop where it is right now or maybe another retest to this high here, this previous high. We might get us a correction as well. So that'd be nice to see if price continues to play correctively throughout here. And then that drop for the continuation on gold. Overall, we're already kind of in the sales for some of the team. So if you do want to hop in, just look for a retracement around this area. Be mindful that we could break back to the upside. I'm looking for overall the play to be down here in this area, either a bounce or a break. Okay. And then if we bounce, I'm going to be looking for long position. So I'm going to be checking out the exhaustion once price gets in this range. That's gold. So USD CHF is another pair I'm kind of eyeballing right now. So we had this nice double top. And if we take the measurement, I'm going to go ahead and grab this measurement from here. So we haven't fully completed that measurement. I'm going to grab two other measurements. So it's kind of a median measurement. I'm going to grab a smaller measurement. Just kind of see what we're working with. I'm going to grab the full measurement, which is going to go from this wick to the neckline. Okay. So if we go for the smaller measurement, we can see that it's pretty much completed. We know if we go for the larger measurement, then it definitely has a ways to go. So if we look at price action to see kind of what's around these two levels, like that area there. Not too much lower. We can see that support there. Just a brief support, but not too much lower that I'm seeing around that range. I do like, however, one of these two ranges. So what we're going to do is take this off, that long range, And we're looking kind of still for that median range as well. So on the daily time frame, we have a TL. So just shifting back to a lower time frame here. So on that 4 hour right now, you guys can see that we're having a little bit of rejection here. Personally, I would like to see price pull back a little bit deeper in and then look for the continuation down to this zone. And then we'll watch to see what happens at the TL. So if we go to a lower time frame, I'm actually looking for either the 50 range or the 61.8 range. If we go to a lower time frame, I would prefer to see some kind of structure play out that's going to be bearish as far as a continuation structure into this range. And then that would help, just a little bit more confirm as far as the reversal and then the continuation for the bears to come into the market. So I'm going to take this off. So our Fibo range currently is from this level. Just going to look for some other levels here. We can see right now we're rejecting that 38.2. That's 61.8 right here. We prefer the 50 or the 61.8. So this one's here. So prematurely at the edge of that zone up to the 50, this is kind of an ideal area of where I would really love to see that reversal also intact with that 200 EMA here. So that's USD CHF. If I were to draw the move, it's going to look something like this. This is what I'm looking for. We might get one more bounce. And then the pop. And then we might see a long from here, just a little false breakout. And then a long from here. But we'll have to reevaluate once price gets to this region. So GJ. So I gave this out to you guys, to the free group and to our premium members yesterday. So pretty much we were looking for some longs on GJ towards market open at the beginning of the week. And then we had, Trump kind of going back and forth there with those tariffs. So both sides kind of raising tariffs. And then we saw this huge sell-off here in the market on a lot of the yen pairs. So that kind of made GJ a goner. Right now, what I was looking for was around this area yesterday for a potential pullback in this region, and then either a decline, or if we broke back above it, and I would like to see something impulsive break back above that area to kind of show that dominance in the market as far as for the bulls. And then we would look to see price just temporarily reject this region, come back to that support, previous support, and then look to take buys to the upside. So in this scenario, we actually got the bears to come into the market. It looks like we're making just a little head and shoulders here also. You can see that left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Honestly, on the higher time frame, GJ might be double bottoming. So for those of you that are holding those sells, I would pay close attention to this range because we might see something like this. Okay. But if we break it, okay, so GJ is not a slow mover, so she'll let you know what she's going to do. If we break this area, a nice clean break and close with a nice bearish candle, then we can expect a continuation. If you are already in the sales, then you're good, guys. Just move the stop loss to entry. You can move it further in profit as it does move down towards that major decision area, which is getting pretty close to support now. So just kind of keep eye on that. On GJ, we might see a reversal back up for a double bottom. If we respect it, then we'll look I'm sorry, if we break it, then we'll look to see price head further down. And just to show you guys the daily before we switch off of the chart. So we did get a reversal candle, okay, on the daily time frame. This is a hammer which belongs at the top of a trend, okay, and so it's at the bottom of a trend. So to me, that would be an improperly placed candle. Usually these candles are kind of dead giveaways in the market to where we might see a reversal as well, or just to see that candlestick fill. If this candlestick would fill, that range would be in here around that 61.8. So just kind of keep eye on that. It looks like a sign of the market potentially losing some momentum. So watch out for that support on GJ. Euro CHF. So when it comes to opportunities that we are looking to take as far as for the rest of the week, I really like Euro CHF. It looks really good from the weekly time frame. So this is actually one of my favorites. And then CHF JPY, which we're going to go over next, is going to be pretty much my second favorite for the rest of the week. Okay, so Euro CHF, we are at Tuesday in the week, depending on where you are, it might be Wednesday. But so far, this candlestick has definitely showed that the bears have came into the market, okay, on the weekly time frame. So we're only at Tuesday, okay. We definitely still have a couple of more days left into the market. So what we might see, okay, is a pullback on this pair. I do love that bearish impulsive candlestick, right? So I'm looking for that continuation down into the support range before we hop off that time frame. I'm looking for a continuation back down into this range, okay? So we're kind of playing that consolidation trade here. So if we hop to the daily, we have that same reversal candlestick here. So there's two things that I'm looking for, okay? So this is kind of that same candlestick that I kind of just explained that belongs at the top of the trend, but it's at the bottom. So it's kind of sometimes a dead giveaway, so just kind of watch out for it. Right now, we are at support, okay? So what I'm looking for on this pair, we're going to hop down to another time frame here on the 4-hour. What I'm looking for is for price to overall break this support. Okay, if it breaks the support, then I'll automatically be looking to sell this. So I'll probably have sell stops around this range right here, which I'll enter shortly after I complete this live video for you guys. If we're looking to pull back first, I'm going to be looking for pullbacks in this range. If we drop a Fibo, and I'm going to drop both here, just so I make sure I grab the best possible range. So you guys can see that first 38.2 is here, and the second one here. So what I'm actually going to look for is this range. It's going to be a really nice range to look for potential sell for Euro CHF. So we might double bottom. If we double bottom, this would be the full range. Now, it doesn't have to always fully complete. I only look for 75% of it to complete. So this is 41 pips. Okay, so if we kind of broke that down, we would be looking to take off about 10 pips. So that would be, it looks like somewhere around this range. Yeah, somewhere around there. So that looking to be potentially maybe the max that I would actually look for price to retrace up. So kind of in between that 50 range, as we can see. So I prefer to sell it from the top. Okay, I would love to see those sales from the top. But if it breaks this support, it's definitely going to be a dead giveaway for the continuation to the downside. So also, once price reaches to that downside, I'm looking for potential bullish Gartley pattern to play out at the 78.6. So we'll see how that works. I might expect a potential break below this support here at the 78.6. So probably like wicks anywhere between this range. Might get like a double bottom on the higher time frame. It's going to look like wicks. So a double bottom on the 4-hour on the daily is going to look like wicks to the downside, depending on how impulsive the break back to the upside is. So I'm going to be looking for just to overall see that move, respect that 78.6. If we extend down into the zone and we start closing below the 78.6 on a higher time frame, then I'll look for a potential bat pattern to play out at the 88.6, which will be in this range. So those are going to be option one, option two. So bat pattern here, Gartley pattern here. Just to clear this up for you guys a little bit before we tip off this chart. So CHF JPY. Again, Euro CHF and CHF JPY are pretty much my main focuses for the rest of the week. There's definitely a lot going on with the dollar right now, so I kind of don't want to try to gamble with it, and just kind of let everything kind of cool off, even though it's pretty much going to last for another 3 to 4 weeks. I'm going to try to my best to kind of stay away from the dollar because things could definitely be uncertain for the next 3 or 4 weeks. Seeing to me personally, as far as fundamentals, my view, seeing that Trump is the type of person he is and the elections are coming up, these tariffs could potentially be a good thing for him in his favor as far as holding off. So knowing Trump, that's probably something he would do to help as far as votes for his election. But then again, I'm a technical person, guys, so I kind of just read the charts for what it tells me and just kind of stay mindful of those events. As far as events for the rest of the week, we do have Aussie news coming up on Wednesday, that rate, unemployment rate. So I'm definitely going to be looking at that to be potentially taking either a buy stop or sell stop opportunity, depending on how odd USD looks to me. So CHF JPY, guys, pretty much we've been looking at this trade since market open around this area. I was looking for a break above this resistance here now as support. And so pretty much this is going to hold for the full continuation to the upside. I'm not expecting anything to come back further. Actually, each level would go up. We can see that previously. Here's resistance, which is now support. We do have our gap here that I would also like to fill. I do think we might see a yen pop the rest of the week. So I'll be looking out for that. Not GJ. GJ might have a little bit more downside left to her. Just keep mindful of that one. But if GJ does do that double bottom, then yeah, definitely we might see a yen pop, a quick yen pop, because I think Euro JPY still has upside to go as well. So for CHF JPY, there's not much for me to explain on this one. Kind of already have this one marked up. Right now we're in our demand zone. I'm looking for another retest into this upper region here, our supply zone. And from here, I'll look for a continuation back to the downside. So I want to see further lows on price. We go to the higher time frame. If we go to the higher time frame, we can see right here at that 272 previously where we kind of wicked down for support. So kind of in this range would be a very fresh demand to look for in the market. If we look to the left here, we can also see previous resistances throughout this zone as well. So if we kind of mark those as well, just depending on how you are. If you're a little bit more conservative, then you can go for that wider range. If you want to be a little bit more aggressive, then try to narrow that range up. That way you can minimize that stop loss. So if we go for the full range, this would definitely be a nice fresh demand zone to target as far as for overall downside long term for CHF JPY. But me personally, guys, I'm looking for just the upside this week. Next week, we'll reevaluate. If we do get that exhaustion in this range, then I'll look for that downside move to continue. But that's CHF JPY, guys. So just to kind of give a quick recap on what we're looking at for the rest of the week and the opportunity that you actually can trade. If you do want to buy CHF JPY, you can. I don't think it's a bad idea to still get in this trade. to take it up here to the upside target, which is around 100 pips. So not too bad. Euro CHF. I'm looking for downside on this pair overall. Okay, so this is a pair that I'm definitely excited to trade when the trade comes. Okay, so that's whether it breaks support, then clearly I'll see that continuation to the downside, or if it gives us that retest, which is going to give a more better opportunity for some sales, and then I'll look to trade that to the downside from there. But overall, this is going to be probably one of my favorite opportunities just because of how lucrative it looks on the weekly. So just seeing that weekly candle again, guys, I think that that candle might be maxed out. It's very nice and bearish right now. So, if we look to see previously in price, we have definitely gotten some nice bearish impulsive weekly candlesticks on this pair. Okay, so it's definitely possible. We've only made just a little bit compared to what we can see it's done before. So we definitely could end up closing this week and actually achieving the target this week. But if we don't and stay around this week, then next week, this is definitely going to be a real nice opportunity for a short-term pullback and then a continuation down. So whether we get it this week or next week, just make sure you're keeping your eyes open on Euro CHF. So if it comes next week, then more than likely it's going to be doing some pulling back throughout the rest of this week. And then maybe toward the beginning of next week, we can look for those sales, or maybe towards the end of this week and then hold them throughout next week. GJ, just a little update. We might double bottom here. I am expecting a potential little yen strength. So just stay mindful of that, guys. If we break below the support, then of course continuation down to this next zone. It's about 50% there, so just make sure your stop loss is at entry and just be mindful of that. USDCHF, I am looking for this opportunity. I don't think it's going to come this week. It just depends on how soon price gets up here. This is going to be a nice one because I'm expecting a lot further price down on USDCHF. We might actually be able to even achieve previous lows down here at that 99,300 level, which is around this range. So we might even be able to achieve those lows. I would look for that once we've broken this support. So I would definitely like to see something nice, bearish and impulsive. So anywhere between the 4-hour time frame and the daily time frame to look for those closes below the zone. And then I'll look for continuation patterns down to this demand zone here. So I look for that pattern to play out, either a corrective structure, or any kind of reversal pattern to form in this range. So reversal patterns being head and shoulders patterns, maybe a rising wedge, or you can get this bearish flag type of corrections. So it just depends on what price wants to kind of play out there. As far as opportunities, taking it to the upside, I wouldn't take it to the upside because overall I'm looking for the bears to come in the market. So we might even drop down to support double bottom and then come up just to drop down for next week. So I wouldn't look to trade this pair to the upside because it's not giving a pattern, a reversal pattern as far as for the continuation to the upside. So it's nothing just backing up that upside to me. So I'm only waiting for the opportunity once it gets there. Gold, looking for sales down to this TL. Okay, so we are already in gold. If you want to take this trade, you can just make sure you're using very good management because you would have to use a wider stop loss than normal. Seeing that it's already happening, the best opportunity is to wait for a pullback in this range. We might not get it. It looks like it's kind of giving us a stairway here, so you guys can see their previous resistance broke below it. So right now we're playing above that support and between this resistance. So watch this zone to see what happens. Break above resistance. We'll come and retest this range. If we retest this range and show rejection, then you guys can definitely take a sell from that top range down. And then from here, look for potential buys, or if we break, look for potential sells to make potential a new lower low. So remember that 4-hour time frame. We're kind of heading down. So watch out for that on gold. But that's all for this week review, guys. Thank you all for tuning in for the market forecast. Again, as far as news for the rest of the week, the only thing that I'm focusing on personally It's going to be the Aussie news on Wednesday for the unemployment rate. I'll be looking at IDSD. So if you are following in my Telegram, or if you're a premium member, guys, I'll more than likely be giving out a um, either a buy stop or a sell stop type of scenario, which we'll be looking for a breakout for that news event. But that's all for this week, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you all have a great rest of your trading week, and I'll see you guys next week.